them on the beautiful McAllister College campus, and we are joined by at least 2/3 of Whiskey Rock and Roll Club.
Here we
Yay!
are.
Yay! We've got Mark, we've got Taylor. Welcome.
Hey, thanks for having us.
Yeah, I'm thrilled. We've been trying to. Taylor, you've been on before.
I have. I'm an alumni.
I know.
Yes.
I know. Yeah. Not too long. You'll get the gold watch for me
Yes.
because we don't know. And Mark, we got so close to having you on. I think last summer.
This is my first time.
I know.
Yeah,
Happy to be
excited.
here.
We're thrilled to have you here.
We're thrilled to be here.
Yeah. Well, I'm just going to start out strong and say that one of the reasons that we're here is your residency at Mortimer's.
Oh, God, it's happening again.
Yeah.
Can you believe it? You were there. What'd you think?
I thought it was awesome. I'm going to open the door right away to say because you had such a great lineup the first night.
Well, one of the nice things about the Whiskey Rock and Roll Club December residency at Mortimer's, which has been happening for many years now, many years, we're finally getting the hang of it. And our lineup this year has been excellent.
Yes.
We kicked things off. You were there.
Yes.
We had our friends from Mary Jam, all-time greats. If you don't know Mary Jam, I can't be friends with you. You got to go hear them. You got to go experience them.
You gotta go see them.
Yes.
They're good on recording, but that is a live band through and through.
And my favorite memory, was at Cloudland.
Yes.
Riding it. Yeah, you.
Riding in a motorcycle from the back door of Cloudland up to the stage. It
They're the
was
best.
Rob
amazing.
Halford style.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was very Mary Jam, and
Yes.
I loved it.
Yes.
And then we played. We were fine. And then we had Count Spookula, who, as we were talking off mic, is also someone you need to experience.
Yes. Yes.
He walks around with a little cup full of fake blood. And I said, what is this all about? And he goes, it's for the ritual. And I was like, I'm on board. Let's go. Yeah. Everybody danced like crazy.
He stays in character. He does not break
Oh,
kayfabe
no.
all night.
Yeah. I wouldn't even say character. I just believe in Count Spookula.
Oh, yes.
You think that is
entity,
him? Okay.
For sure.
Okay.
Yeah,
I mean-
he maybe transitions into a disguise of human form.
Yeah, he just shows up at the gig. And there's no,
Yeah,
I
where-
gotta go put on my spooky face.
Right,
He's-
where do I
he's
put
there.
my laptop? Yeah, this is great.
He shows up wearing the codpiece.
Yeah. And
Which is
points
a great,
at
yeah,
everyone.
exactly.
I love it.
Oh, those shows are magical. I mean, they're just, yeah. And who have you got coming up this week?
Well, last week we also had
I'm
another
sorry, last
banger
week
lineup. So this is kind of a unique year because we're doing 3 of the 5 Wednesdays at Mortimer's because then it's Christmas Eve
Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve.
and then New Year's Eve, which are high demand.
Yes.
That's when they bring in the big bucks at Mort, so they
Yes.
don't need us.
No.
Last week, for week 2 of 3, was also a very good show, but much more rock focused than the party vibes from the first week. And we kicked off with King Sized Coffin,
Oh,
Ooh.
love.
just is a vibe shift
Yeah.
and was super fun. And I always appreciate a good band that has more members than space on the stage.
Yes.
And so there was a lot of overflow gear-wise and band-wise.
Yeah.
And then
Another band you gotta see.
you got to absolutely
Absolutely.
see them. 100% agree.
That
And,
is some cool incarnate on watching them sometimes. You're just like, wow.
Yeah, I was
these are
telling people that
cool.
maybe Rock and Roll Club will also get a theremin.
Oh,
but
yes.
Well, in discussion still.
You know about the theremin. A lot of people. Well, not that
Yeah.
there are a lot of people using a theremin, but when you see it, you usually get that spooky sound,
Yeah.
the sci-fi sound. But to play fixed pitches
Oh, yeah.
on that thing is bananas. I don't know how you can do that, but
Dialed in.
yeah,
Right.
very good.
Expert. And then we had a set from, we had them listed as TBA because it was sort of a soft launch for the return of a rock band from sort of the Minneapolis triple rock days called the Jaffies, who I'm sure you would agree are going to be a huge deal when they come back and start playing. And they crushed. It's always one of those situations where it was like, okay, we better really actually focus in here because that was a tough act to follow. They were extremely good.
we were questioning our decision.
Jaffe's were great. We're going to be playing with them again coming up here, I think in January, TBD. And then closing out the night was a absolute crowd favorite, Christy Spillman and Gastown Alley doing their Skid Row cover band plus. So they had a couple other tracks in there from other bands, but it was mostly Skid Row covers.
Nice.
And we were very excited for them to come and play. We weren't sure what the reception would be in the heart of Minneapolis for a Skid Row cover band, but we had some grown men just like singing their hearts out. Just like I thought a guy was crying for 18 in life, and so they ended up having a real good reception and really
That's
delivered.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
for a moment I thought we were in Spring Lake Park.
A lot of fist pumping.
Spring Lake Park to the city.
Yeah. So crowd favorites, and some of the one of the nice things about our residency is like we get a lot of other bands that come hang out, which is really fun.
Yeah.
And so we even had a couple guys from Angry at Numbers show up, and they were like, "Are you joking about Skid Row cover band? We cannot wait to see that." And I was like, "Great, we're happy that you're happy." So yeah, and then this week is the Mark Deverage special.
Yes.
It's an intersection of many different notable local bands that happen to have Mark in them.
You're the linchpin
Yes.
right there.
Yes.
Holding it all together.
Mark can't ever get sick or like in an accident or anything
No.
because it's like a load-bearing weight of the rock scene here.
I'm going to sleep Monday through Wednesday afternoon
Yes,
to prepare for this.
yes. Well, and for 3 bands, we might need, give you a little break in there, stretch a little bit, use the bathroom for sure.
For sure.
But
Can be an issue.
yeah.
Yeah.
So we have us again, and then we have the we couldn't say enough about her, Cindy Lawson and her
Yes.
band, who are so great. And then a band that doesn't really play that much here, High on Stress.
Right.
Once
right.
a year, twice a year.
Yeah, once or twice a year locally. Occasionally we play elsewhere because we have our bass player lives in Chicago, so getting us all in the same zip code is not easy. And we're working on a new record, but
Ooh.
that's kind of moving along at a slower pace due to geography and people with lots of young kids running around. I was over at Chad's studio, and there's a lot of the walls resemble this place. His kids found the one Sharpie that was in the
Yes.
control room of the studio,
Great.
and went to town on it. So,
Yes.
there'll probably be some young background vocals that you can hear.
That's great. Well, and I think because High on Stress plays like sort of a mini circuit of locations through Chicago,
Right.
but not a lot of times in Minneapolis.
Correct.
So that ends up being like a pretty big draw
Yeah.
for the show.
There are people
which
who
is
have
really exciting.
been counting the days.
Yeah. So people showing up with their High on Stress. So, and then we also have a really good rock band that we're excited about. Also comes to a lot of our shows. DNF, Dad's Night Friends. You maybe have seen them play at like the Hook and Ladder, and they're just like straight up rock band and great tone, really fun songs. So we threw them in the mix because with our residency, it's sort of like we just book bands that we want to hang out with and see play.
Genius.
And so this is an opportunity to do that, and we wanted to get them in there somewhere, and this is the week for it. So yeah, pretty exciting.
I think that's the way to do it. Every now and again, I'll hear from bands who are from out. I might know. And they're like, we're looking for a female fronted,
Yeah.
someone with a left hand, and we want
Yeah.
them to play these, 6 songs that are about this and 8 songs that are about.
Yeah.
You think, well,
Yeah.
former librarian, thank you.
Yes.
I've spent an hour on it. But why wouldn't you just pick the people you want to see?
Yeah.
There's your algorithm right there.
Absolutely.
Right.
Well, and I think the thing that people forget sometimes is that, like, if you do a residency 3 weeks in a row, and you do it year after year, you're there for a while. And if you pick, some folks that are like, we're gonna pick a draw, and then you get someone who doesn't hang out, or they got too much extra gear, they blah blah blah. I'm too old for that stuff. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, we've been playing for long enough. We're like, that's not gonna work.
No.
That's not gonna
yeah.
work, especially on a Wednesday in December.
No.
We're here to have fun and blow off some steam,
Yeah.
and other people who show up are there for the same. So
I think one of the things we pride ourselves on is, we put together something that's going to be entertaining. There'll be something
for
for
sure.
everyone.
Yes.
You're not going to want to get there late or leave early.
absolutely.
You'll be rewarded for sticking around for all the bands,
Yeah.
as eclectic as the bill may seem.
Yes.
It always works out because we play with fun. We play with good bands that are fun, that
Yeah.
will hang out with people that come out to have a good time
Absolutely.
all night, even on a wintry Wednesday. And we always get extreme.
I was just gonna say
Always
with the
extreme
wintry
weather.
makes it hard.
It does.
Back in the day, you were there when Mortimer's started doing music.
Yeah.
They were like, nobody's gonna want to play these Wednesday residencies. It's too cold. It's too snowy. What goofballs are we gonna
Right.
get to do this
Especially in December.
in December? And we were those goofballs. And then we just keep doing it every December. And we've had every weather. We had one year where it snowed 18 inches the day of the show. And then we were like, it can't possibly get worse. And then the next week, it had the snow had compacted a little
I
bit.
was-
And then it just freezing
I just
rain
remember it
on
was
top
sheer
of it.
ice.
Yeah.
That was in the last 2 years or something. Because I just
Yeah.
remember thinking,
That's
oh my god,
unbelievable.
that is the worst.
Yeah, that was
Yes.
even worse than this.
And then
Yeah.
and then the third week was High on Stress played that week, and then it sold out because everybody had waited till the third show and wanted
Of
to
course.
see the last night. So.
Hoping what could come after this,
Oh,
you know?
yeah, it's unbelievable.
It's too cold for the locusts.
Yeah.
Just-
So, we had snow emergency this past Wednesday.
Right.
So we had to park around the
Oh,
block,
God.
and yeah, but it's fun.
yeah. So
Your efforts will be rewarded.
Yeah.
That's
well,
what
and that is it. I mean, everybody is there to have fun, and once
Oh,
you're there,
yeah.
you're there.
Oh,
As you said, I
yeah.
mean,
Yes.
also because you're not no
Well,
one's going for a half an
no,
hour. That's
this
too-
is funny too because we've done this for so long that we're familiar with it. But even the last show we played, I had some friends of friends show up, and they'd never been to Mortimer's before. I mean, they maybe had 20 years ago, and
That's
they were
also an important cultural experience.
yeah, get there before
Check out
anything
Mortimer's.
happens. Yeah. But, once they get in there, they're like, oh, this is actually a very cool bar to see music in.
Right.
And it's yeah, that's why we play here all the time.
the friend I was with last week, she had never been there.
Yeah.
Now she's just moved back from Grand Rapids, so she gets a pass.
Right.
She's like, I bet this is really fancy at one point. I'm like, yeah, probably it was. I mean, it has
upstairs
some,
for
yeah,
sure.
yeah. The front doesn't. It'd be hard to
Well,
believe that was a fancy place.
We always end up talking about Mortimer's from 20 years ago, which was you could get a 3-for-1 special export pounder for $4 or whatever, and it's no one's making good choices after one round of those,
Right,
much less whatever.
right.
And so it was a much different, and that whole area was much different, and so
Yeah,
but now we're rapidly losing these type of venues. So it's if you haven't been to this one, it's a good time to experience it because we don't really have many of those anymore. So,
No.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's a good way to keep them.
It's a great way to
Is
keep
to
them.
attend.
Is to be a patron of the arts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go to
So,
Mortimer's.
it's great to go to the venues that are really slick and have, really high production values and things like that. But there's absolutely an important place for these kinds of, maybe dive bars with music. They're not just dive bars. They are important music, kind of a proving ground or a crucible where our art is being forged.
Absolutely.
As pretentious as that may sound, it's not just a place where you can get 2-for-1s and get blind drunk. You're going to see something
Yeah.
and hear something that's pretty cool that you're not going to necessarily see at a Live Nation venue or even some of the bigger other rooms in this town.
Especially, when people talk about wanting to see something from like, oh, I want to go see a like local show in Minneapolis. It's like it's a perfect place to do that. It's super cheap. It's a fun bar. Everybody there is kind of hanging out, and especially with like the residencies that we have week over week, like we'll have people show up on the first week, and if they come back on the third week, it's like, oh, they recognize people from the first week and they're hanging out. And it's like,
Right.
well, now you're part of the rock scene. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Here's your t-shirt.
Well-
Wait, where's my t-shirt? Do we get t-shirts?
Well, you should already have a t-shirt.
Wait up. But well, and it's a great, as you've said, you get a lot of people who are off-duty musicians
Yes. 100%.
supporting each other, and so that always.
Yeah.
So if you're an emerging musician, it's a good place to meet the people you want to meet, make
Absolutely.
some connections.
Come talk us up for next year.
Yeah, yeah. Should we play a song?
We could play a
Should
song.
we play a song?
I love that.
What would you like us to play?
Oh. Do you have
Pick
any
one of your
requests,
own.
Mark?
Pick one of your own.
Oh, one of our own.
Yeah,
We'll play our
I-
Christmas song.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's Christmas.
Yes. It's close.
yeah.
It's close.
According to Target, it's been Christmas for like a month and a half now.
Yeah, this would be a
That's
good time
true.
to hear All I Want for Christmas is Whiskey and Rock and Roll
Yeah.
by Whiskey Rock and Roll Club, Minneapolis.
Yes.
Yeah.
There we go.
Nailed it. Here we go.
We have
that
to,
second that we're like, ah.
we have to record our other song that is called Whiskey Rock and Roll Club, Minneapolis by Whiskey Rock and Roll.
Whiskey
That-
Rock and Roll.
that would be good.
If only
It's about us.
it's not even to
better?
have the recording of the song, it's just I want to see that title.
Oh, yeah.
You
for
know.
sure. We should do a t-shirt about that, too. That would be a good t-shirt. But yeah, it's been fun.
It's good.
It's one of those things where the first week, I don't know if you feel this way too, but the first week I'm like, I am too busy.
Well, right, I kind of dread it, like, coming up to it. It's like, oh, we got to practice some more songs, so we're not
Yeah.
playing the same set every week.
Yeah.
And, why do I have so much stuff at work going on Thursday, every Thursday in December,
Why do those actually go to court?
Yeah, how did this happen, And it's like, it's great. It's like a first world problem. Oh, we have a residency. We have great shows, with great bands, but we, there is that feeling of dread, like, oh, is this really something, I can do or we should be doing? And that always turns out to be very rewarding.
Well,
Yeah.
even after the first week when I finally woke up the next morning
Yeah.
and I was just like in a great mood.
Yeah.
And Aaron was like, how'd it go? And I was like, this fake blood is from Count Spookula. I messaged him last night about playing my birthday and all this stuff. She's like, all right, we gotta go to work.
You were
Yeah.
ready to have someone do a mural in Minneapolis.
I did say that, yes. I was like, where is Count Spookula's mural? I'm on a big mural kick these days. Like Jelly
Also-
Bean Johnson.
Yeah.
Get him a mural.
Yeah.
What the hell?
I agree.
You're like Oprah with murals.
Care about
You
Bob
get a mural
Dylan?
and you get a mural.
Shit about Bob Dylan.
He's already got murals.
He's already got, yeah.
That.
Count Spookula. Get him up
Well,
there.
I think it should be the people who Bob Dylan's got murals all over the world. Do something that will lift
Yeah.
people up. Who
I was in New Orleans last April, and the people I was with put me on a quota of how many times I could complain about Minneapolis. They were just like at like your third or fourth, you're done.
done.
Because I'd be like, look at this mural. Who is this even? Who is this random? He has a mural, and Venus to Mars doesn't have a mural.
Right, that would
What are we
be.
doing here? Get them murals. Get Jelly Bean a mural. Get Cornbread a
We
mural.
have the Christmassy part that comes in.
Yeah, this is where people move to tears.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
It's the money shot right here. Yeah.
Oh yeah. He does a lot of this. We need a mural list. We gotta get the mural list going.
On it.
Yes. Buy a building, Mark.
So we can paint the side of it.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
Well, get in with the chromosome people by
I know,
280.
but yeah. I have mixed feelings.
Although, nothing like when the Brotex ice raid comes and we're
Yes.
behind murals of immigrants working, and
Right.
yeah, that was.
very veiny looking mushroom over there. I think it's a mushroom, but it looks like it could be something else.
Maybe it's a jellyfish.
Oh, it could be a
I don't have my
jellyfish.
glasses
There's a lot
on,
to
so.
take in. It's like a rehearsal space.
I thought it was a penis-shaped mushroom.
Now we know more about you.
And we see what we want to see.
That's right.
All I wanted for Christmas was rock and roll, and we have the rock and rollers in
Yes.
studio. Yes.
I keep saying it because I mean it.
Yeah.
That was our pandemic smash.
Oh, that's right.
seasonal
Smash.
hit.
God, I forgot.
We had to record that all separately.
Mm-hmm.
I recorded the drums in my basement and sent those
You
in.
did that for a couple things, though, right?
Yeah.
Because Heavy Sixers, another one of Mark's bands, did that.
Yep.
Yeah.
I can't imagine you each sitting in different houses doing this because, especially going to see you, it's so community focused and you feed off each other and you feed off the audience. It must be, like kissing your sister to have to play it in the basement.
Actually, now that we're talking about this,
Yeah.
to rehearse the song, we couldn't go to our little tiny practice space with no windows or ventilation. So we froze in Taylor's backyard, sitting around like a campfire
Yes.
with an acoustic guitar.
I forgot about
and
that.
we kind of worked out the arrangement of the song, and then everybody went back to their own, their own pod or whatever, and did their thing and sort of mailed it in.
That's right. I forgot about that.
That was crazy.
And then we just had different, which to a lot of people might sound not that hard, but you have to like all be absolutely in sync for a recording.
It sounds really hard.
And so if you're just a little bit off, it's a huge mess. And so just being able to get the different layers to work together is extremely challenging. But no, it worked out. It was good.
Kai Brewster put that all
Oh,
Yeah.
very good.
Yeah.
Creates chaos wherever he goes.
Tell us about how you guys got together. And
The
with
Whiskey
music,
Rock
yeah.
and Roll Club? It was
And
a long
Andy too.
time ago.
Yeah, but
Yes. Well, I initially had Andy was in a band called Moonmaster, who I saw at Art World, and I had known Andy through RT Ryback's office, and so he invited me to go see him at 612 Brewing
okay.
when it was still over in the Arts District, and it's Patty's now. And I went and saw Moonmaster, and they had a great bass player. She's just like crushing it. So I was like, Andy, I want to start a band, and give me the name of your bass player. And he goes, she won't do it, but I'll do it. And I was like, good enough for me. So then,
Taylor saw my Pixies tribute band playing at
Oh.
Art World.
which is still active, yet
I
another one
believe
of Mark's bands.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's what I was saying, the linchpin, the foundational pillar of the rock scene.
Yeah, so Taylor saw that and then asked if I would be interested in playing on some demos. And actually, the way he approached it was like, we're not going to have a weekly practice and, do these shows that don't pay. I just want to hire you to play the drums on some demos. You'll get paid.
Yes.
And I'm like, wow, this is great. I've made it to the level where people actually get asked to do stuff and then get money in return for it. And that sounds awesome. And then, of course, we became a band with weekly practice, no money, and
Living the dream.
Still waiting on that first page.
Yeah, you
got
absolutely
catfish.
got
Before
catfish.
catfishing was a term, but that's I think what happened.
But my favorite story out of all that was we played our first ever show.
Speaking of 612 Brew, I
Yes.
didn't realize what a
Yes.
infamous place that
Well,
was.
our first ever show, many, many years ago, was St. Patrick's Day at the Liquor Lounge.
Leeds, yeah.
Oh.
And it was St. Patrick's Day, and we were like, this is going to be great. It's our big thing. Diamond Joe Holland, he lined it up for us, and I was so appreciative. And we went in there to play, and I don't remember if anybody else was on the bill that night.
It must have been.
There must have been someone else. But anyway, I was like, St. Patrick's Day at Lee's, it's going to be packed. And no one came. Absolutely no one. And like the weather wasn't good. So we played like for a small group of my friends and a small group of like, whoever Andy was dating at the time and like a couple of her friends.
Right.
There's a big generational divide between the left side of the stage and the right side of the stage.
Yeah.
So we played, and it was like great.
I don't think we've seen any of those people since then.
No. It was great. We had a great set, feeling great. We were like, this is awesome. And then the next show we played was at 612 Brewing out on the patio.
This is another, kind of soft opening.
Yeah.
Intended to be a soft opening.
And I don't remember who else was playing on that show, but like tons of people we knew came, and it was a train wreck. It was just like my guitar was out of tune the whole time. The acoustics were bad.
Guitar came unplugged.
The guitar came unplugged.
Short cable,
That does look like a professional move there.
No, it was unbelievable.
You could have filmed it and probably gotten the audio too and passed it off as a battle of the bands.
Oh my God, it was just terrible.
High school battle of the bands.
And one of my friends, she was there, and I was just like, hey, what'd you think? And she was just like, well, it's cool that you got a, you're going
That you have friends.
I was like, Jesus
You guys look like
Christ.
you're having fun up there. That's what people say.
Yeah.
It really sucked. Like, if that, how did you think?
Yeah.
How did it sound?
Yeah.
It looked like you're having fun up there. Okay, I know what that means.
Well,
Yeah.
and then
We had
your buddy Sean.
It was a soft opening. I hadn't really hyped this up because we'll play this brewery during the day, kind of like St. Patrick's Day. People will be drinking, low expectations. It's just going to be something in the background. We'll kind of work up our stage chops a little bit in a very low pressure kind of an environment. And then a couple of my friends showed up, very opinionated musician types,
Long time music scene.
Right,
pros.
And they're like, hey, you didn't tell us you're in this new band, and you didn't tell me you're playing. I'm like, well, we're just kind of an early, thing here where, we're just kind of working out some kinks. And then, I tried to manage expectations. And then afterwards, I did not solicit any opinions. One of the people that was there, I do like to give him a hard time about it.
Oh, for sure.
He apparently was so appalled at our performance that he got really day drunk and got a DWI in the afternoon driving home from this show.
That's on you guys.
I like to tease him. I'm like, remember my band was so bad that you had to drink yourself into oblivion.
He was like, Mark, you gotta quit this band.
Yeah, the other opinionated friend, I saw him and I'm like, all right, I know you're gonna say something, so let's just get it over with. And he gave a scathing review, said he was embarrassed for me and that I shouldn't be playing in this band, or these other guys don't know what they're doing, and what are you doing with this? Look how far you've fallen. And then, right as he's laying into me, Taylor walks up, who doesn't know this guy at all, and it's like, hey, Mark, introduce me to your friend from this, legendary local band, and I do, and Taylor says, so what do you think? And then, there's an awkward Curb Your Enthusiasm kind of pause there, and then this person says, yeah, rock and roll, man. Again, non-answer. And then me being who I am, after maybe me being more like Larry David than I'd like to acknowledge, I said, well, actually, what he just said was, and then I repeated verbatim everything that he said, and then Taylor goes, really? Is that what you said? And then the guy was like, yeah, that's what I said. And then we took that as a challenge to get much better, and
Absolutely.
I think we did. And said self-appointed rock critic came to another show that we did at the Stone Arch Festival later. It says, okay, I get it.
I get it. I'm on board.
Because it was much better by that point.
Yeah. Well, and I think one of the funny things is that we've maybe I'd be curious what you had to say about this too, is that, the last 10 years have been really interesting, like local music wise, because one of my favorite things about Rock and Roll Club is that we had such a strong scene here, like in the late 90s. And then we also had a really strong scene here in the aughts. And then kind of around the time we were starting, there weren't as many like rock bands. And, and some generational stuff going on. And so we played the places we could play for the crowds we could play. And, for me especially, these guys had a bunch of background, But for me, it was like, okay, putting in the time at like Tom Reed's hockey bar during a Wild game where everyone's like, will you be more quiet because we're trying to watch the hockey game, and like drunk guys like trying to pull us off the stage and stuff. So like we played for a while doing that. Even like the first couple Moritz residencies that we had, you know, we were really trying. We struggled to get people to fill up all the bills and stuff, because it was like, what's the name of your band? Yeah. And like, what kind of music do you play? And I feel like the tide has turned a little bit, where, you know, rock is back. People are interested in seeing fun rock bands. Younger bands are just crushing it. We're excited to play with them. Like Mary Jam's a perfect example, where like they're so good and they're excited to play with other loud bands. And we're at a point now, like we've played enough where, like, you know, sometimes we'll get done with a set and we'll kind of go, you know, it wasn't one of our best and all that. And then you'll go talk to someone out in the crowd and they're like, someone from Fargo told us that we were supposed to come check this out, so we did. You guys are incredible. We're going to buy a shirt and we're going to do all this. We're like, oh, thank you. That's great. You know, and people are back into seeing rock.
Yeah. I think we're a band that nobody knew that they needed. Yeah. Some people, you know, are into it. And it was weird because we were playing a lot of shows with punk bands and things like that. We still do, but we're not a punk band. You know, musically, that wouldn't be something. But then that's why these shows, especially these residency shows, end up being really cool, because, you know, we're not in, I don't know what genre you're going to call Count Spookula, but nobody else is in that genre.
No.
He's in a genre of his own, you know, and we kind of are in a way too, because we're not like a, I don't want to sound like I'm putting us down, but we're not like a super serious rock band. We just are a rock band. We're not trying to, do anything other than entertain ourselves and the people, our friends that come to see us. You know, we don't take ourselves too seriously. And one thing that I think works for our band is that, you know, sometimes in bands you get too worried about, you know, well, should we do this? Usually what we do is, if something seems like it's a bad idea, we just go with it. You know, is this something we should do? Nobody else would do that. No, that seems like something that would probably draw some heat or scorn from other people who take music very seriously. We should absolutely do that.
Well, and, you know, I think a good example of that is like our jackets and our backdrop, and you know, like I would say maybe 8 years ago, if you would have had your own backdrop for a murder show, people would have been like, who are these JOs, you know?
What happened was, one of the first times we played, one of Andy's friends was kind of like scratching his head, you know, because Andy was a very respectable looking alt country, you know, kind
bolo tie,
you know, clean cut, you know, acoustic guitar,
playing on like professional stuff on like Tracer records and stuff.
And then all of a sudden his friend sees him, you know, gyrating like a stripper with, you know,
no shirt
on, playing this, you know, sort of, you know, different kind of music than what he was used to. So he's like, well, if you guys are going to play this kind of music, you know, you should be like, you need some like lighted platforms that you stand on or something. And then Andy said, well, you build them, we'll stand on them. And for our early shows, until they gave us a lot of service before they finally expired.
They really died a tough death.
Yeah, they did. They left it all on the stage. But those platforms would come to all of our shows. And I remember we would have these odd shows. Like one time we, much like Spinal Tap, opened for a puppet show, face painting, and like a, you know, sort of it was almost like a band doing like Renaissance festival music afterwards, at one of those things that Minneapolis is doing to try to get people who are scared to come downtown to come downtown.
Oh, so on yes, I have been to some of those events. I brought a child, so sometimes it was
we played at one of those, and then we're loading in our lighted platforms. You can't even see the lights because of broad daylight. You know,
I forgot all about that.
And the sound guy's like, really, this isn't a lighted platform kind of an event. Like, well,
it is.
Oh yeah,
it is now.
That's what we do.
Well, it's funny because we've played so many of those shows.
Non-traditional venues.
Yeah, I forgot about that one. We played at the VA that one time.
We did. We played for a employee
I love that.
picnic in the VA
so
parking
fun.
lot. Yeah,
people just loved it. Yeah. So it's one of those things too where it's, now that we've been doing that kind of stuff for a while now, and we have played with so many bands over the years that it really is like, especially with the residency, like we get people who come to almost all our shows, and then we get people who are just like, they have heard of us, or Riemenschneider put us in the paper or whatever, and they'll just come check it out because we're like the entry for them, the entry into rock and roll.
And it's great.
Yeah.
And it is the showmanship. I mean, that is a huge part of it. I remember somebody who they hadn't seen you guys play before, sitting next to me, and you finished Snake Farm, and she's like, do these guys work for State Farm or something?
Yeah, exactly. I get that
like it's
a
a Snake Farm.
Yeah.
I think it's Snake Farm. But everybody enjoys it. You don't, there's a familiarity with right away.
Yeah. Well, and the other thing that I'll say, for those of you that are listening that are maybe not sure if you can't picture what we're talking about, like that's a good thing for you. You should come check it out.
Yeah, absolutely.
But also, the thing about both Mark and Andy is that, like, I get really excited about some of the things that people wouldn't necessarily do in other bands if they're like more serious, like Mark was saying. Like if you take yourself seriously as like a rock band and you care about your art and like you need to like have a specific thing going on, like that's great and that's good for you. But like we do medleys. Like who else is out there doing a medley these days? You know what I mean?
Right.
And these guys will be like, we should throw this song in the medley. Let's do it. Or let's do, when Palmer's was still open, it'd be like, let's just do 5 Motorhead songs that are not Ace of Spades. And like there'll be a couple guys at the bar who are just like, we made their year.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're like, this is incredible. What is going on? And so that, that's a much more exciting way to approach it than, for us anyway.
Making customers for life.
Yes,
Maybe not for the show.
Exactly.
But the show's customers for life, fans for life.
Yeah. Or what if we were to, have these other bands show up and play with us and it's not a great fit and it's like awesome, and then those bands just ask us to do a bunch of shows and we're like, it worked.
That's the secret sauce. Should we play another song?
Sure.
What? Dealer's choice, my friends. What would you? While you think about it, I'm going to remind people that they're listening to mostly Minnesota music on WMCN 91.7 FM in St. Paul. Is that enough stalling? You know what?
Yeah, maybe Hot and Cold Man.
Yeah, Hot and Cold Man.
Might be cold outside. But...
Yeah, we're hot men who are very, very cold these days.
Yes. Perfect. Here we go.
I forgot about that pen and pin thing.
Yeah, I know that.
God,
there's so many dumb shows we've done.
That was really something.
That must have been like 10 years, because I remember bringing, and it might have been to that, but I would bring my 10-year-old, my little caboose kid, and then you'd realize that this avenue is not for children.
No.
Yeah.
You're walking back to the car, and there's someone in the corner thrown up, and someone, and you're like,
garbage can.
Yeah, and like you're like, man, maybe you need to.
I appreciate the face paint on my child, but So it is almost like a pro wrestling gimmick, because we're like
so funny,
kind of like Count Schofield is showing up just in character. When we show up at some of these shows that and we were kind of going for a while, like Taylor was trying to find these things that we should probably not play at. They're not looking. We are not the band that they were looking for, and then we would insert ourselves into these ridiculous.
I think that's perfect.
Things. Well, boy,
that's it.
Well, the other thing too that is very funny about it is because venues have changed so much, like. The old Bedlam in St. Paul, like we played that.
Oh yeah,
and it was that.
Oh, I dragged the same child to some weird stuff there.
Yeah, we
that
played there. We played.
Station 4, right?
It was right by it.
Yeah. Right by the train. Yeah.
I think it's Lost Fox now.
Yeah.
I'm just business.
Yep.
is we're probably going to finish soonish.
Yes.
Because someone's got to get to the turf club and they have to vet me to be on the midway rapid response thing.
Oh, funny.
And I thought I could, by saying, I am on the board of Women's March and here's my...
Yeah.
So, yeah, just to say, we'll probably have to... Yeah. So...
What's at the turf club?
The format is doing a micro show at
Oh, yeah.
1. Doors at noon, music at 1.
That is sold the F out.
Yeah.
What was it?
The format...
The
So
format.
old school pop punk from the early 2000s, but it's the
funny.
singer of Fun.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So it's his first band.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just a duo acoustic show, but I'm shooting it and reviewing it, and I'm really
Cool.
excited. But trying to get there,
Fancy schmancy.
trying to get there kind of early so I can
At
maybe
least
get
get
a spot up
yeah.
front. We'll see.
Yeah, a friend of mine hit me up because his daughter wanted to go to that show. And I asked him, and he's like, there's absolutely nothing I can do for anybody about that
Yeah.
show.
Oh.
I'm really hoping I know who's working the back door so I can just go in the back. And, yeah, it's going to be wild. I know I have a photographer friend who was getting there at 9:30 this morning, just going to
Suck up the ambiance of the turf club.
Keep your fingers
He
crossed.
can touch my arm and...
Take some hand warmers and hope you
Right.
can get in.
I
you
was
know?
like, if you need coffee, I'll drop it off, but I don't know what to...
Yeah.
That's so funny. We have played so many of those funny shows.
I feel like that
I should
adds
try and
to
go
you
through.
guys, though.
I should try and go through
Oh.
my emails
If
sometime. That's really
a
funny.
list of the ridiculous shows we've had.
I know, I'm thinking some... I think certainly during 2020, people got creative, and I saw some, music under a bridge or that, which so...
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
Which
we
is-
played
I mean-
in what's her name's backyard across the fence.
Sarah, yeah.
Yeah.
In Northeast, that was super fun.
So we did a show in this backyard. Literally, the drums are on the grass, and then there's a photo of me playing the drums, and there's a dog shitting behind me in the neighbor's yard. And there was a fence, and everybody was on the other side of the fence, which was this huge parking lot for a mosque. And the imam from the mosque was like, your rock and roll friends can use this parking lot for your show because they all stood guard overnight when all the vandalism stuff was going on. They took turns making sure nobody did into the mosque.
It was very fun.
That is karma. We have Whiskey Rock and Roll Club
Yes.
in the house.
We love
In the
being here.
house. I know. We're talking about weird shows. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Weird places to play shows. But you guys would fit anywhere.
Oh yeah. We have also played many a regular show.
We do that once. Traditional venues.
Yeah. Traditional venues. Last year we played Basilica Block Party, which was both weird but also like kind of a regular show.
Yeah.
Traditional venue for other traditions, not ours.
Yeah. But yeah, one of the other things that's been really fun about just kind of getting to play for so long and then having this residency and the shows we play, and it's because of how much fun we've been sort of on stage and how we book random acts and stuff. We do have all these different connections. So you'll see like bands that are touring that maybe we'll play with, like when we DJ for the Dolly Rots, from Florida and Los Angeles, and then you'll see a promo photo come out and they'll have a Rock and Roll Club t-shirt on. Or you'll see, we get texts where someone's like, I'm at a show in Bentonville, Arkansas, and this guy's got a Rock and Roll Club shirt on. It's just like, that's very rewarding.
You must do some of the best merch sales ever because you see those
Well, that's
everywhere.
100% Andy Holmes.
Well,
Yeah, that
he
is.
is. He's very good at that.
Yeah. Well, even, that was sort of the first, it's one of the fun things about our residency is that, if you go to if you went to the Entry or the Turf Club and it was a national touring band coming through, it's like they got like maybe 2 t-shirts and a new vinyl and maybe like some stickers. And it's all on a little table with a tablecloth or whatever. And we're at a point now where we have like mannequin torsos and grates to hang stuff off of.
A lot
And
of different designs. Yeah, Taylor's a very gifted
Mark,
designer.
Yeah,
so
really,
we have some
Mark
really
was
good
going through our
designs.
merch 2 weeks ago, and he's like, I didn't even know we put this one out. What is this? And I was like, it's called reverse tie-dye. And he's like, I didn't even see this one.
Andy explained. He said that was a Thread Finds collaboration.
Yeah.
So that's why I hadn't seen too many of those.
Yeah, so there's random jackets out there that we haven't even seen that through collabs.
It's amazing.
And stuff.
Andy was introducing me to somebody saying that we were in a band together, and I interrupted and said, "No, actually, we're partners in a merchandising company
Yeah.
that we occasionally promote by having to play music."
Honestly.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So we take the merch very seriously. We don't
Yes,
take ourselves seriously,
100%.
but
Oh,
we
yes.
take the merch very
Yes.
seriously.
Yes. That's
Fit
so
in a fun
fun.
way. Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's amazing.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the clock on the wall.
It's about that time.
Yes, remind folks about the show coming up. The last of the resident, or any show. I mean, you've got so many things.
Wednesday, December 17th. It's going to be us, Whiskey Rock and Roll Club Minneapolis, Cindy Lawson, Dad's Nighttime Friends,
Yes.
and also High on Stress.
Yes. A rare public appearance.
So that'll be a good
Also,
one.
I would say this is a good one for people who want to come to a rock show because it starts at 8, music at 8:30. So there's
Right.
no excuses about trying to see it. Sometimes we play at 12:30 on a Wednesday, and this is not one of those. You can come see us at a reasonable hour. So we'll see you
The
there.
Mortimers will be happy to take your money into the wee hours of
Yeah, yeah,
if
they
you
are.
want to, but you don't have to.
Yes.
No.
You could be home at a reasonable,
Yes.
semi-reasonable hour.
And make it date night. Get there early and get
Yes.
the Whiskey Rock and Roll Club pizza at morning.
Yes, we have our own pizza there
good
too.
call.
So make a whole night of it.
That's probably better than winning the Grammy.
That's the best you
Permanent-
can do. I tell
permanent
people
menu
all the
item
time
named
that's
after
the best you can do.
Can you eat a Grammy? No. Winning.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Thank
thanks
you
for
so
having
much.
us.
Thanks for having
Otherwise, we're just pretty much gonna call out.
Yeah.
We got stuff to do. So
Yeah.
thank you for listening to Mostly Minnesota Music on WMCN 91.7 FM. And this is our last show of the year. So we will look forward to seeing you
you
after
next
the
year.
J term. Langan, you want to tell folks where they can see you?
Yeah, you can find me at girlattherockshows.com.